Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted you guys to hear some noises by the fire, and I guess a story by the fire. But more importantly, guys, hear that? That is a seasonal woodpecker. Let's hit the light. Maybe he won't hear us. He probably feels us. Maybe he's got a sensor. Maybe he's got a sensor, but you guys have heard him before, right? Yeah, he just keeps going on and on and on all night long. And it's a seasonal, it is a seasonal woodpecker. And they only come out during the change of the season, which is right now. It's going from rainy season in about a month up to the dry season, the summer, 6 months of summer. So basically, these woodpeckers come out at the end of the rainy season, and they're a nocturnal woodpecker. So it's an amazing creature because, of course, he's not afraid of any predators up in a tree, although a snake could very easily go up and attack such a woodpecker. But yeah, it's an amazing creature, and basically, they are only seasonal, so it's a joy to watch. Well, I guess it's a joy to listen, more so than to watch. But let's get the hammock ready here, and we're gonna do stories by the fireplace. Stories by the fire. Let me just get situated here with my lovely nocturnal incense. There we go. So I guess there we are. Can you guys hear him? There he goes again. I mean, last night he was just going on and on and on and on till about midnight. Where's my jaguar? Well, in any case, guys, let's take a pop down on the hammock and tell some stories, tell some nightly stories stories from the jungle and swing in the hammock. Shall we? Will you join me? Why don't you? Will you? Will you? Will you? Join me, will you? Alright. Alright, we can swing by the fire, shut off the flashlight, and tell some stories of the boogeyman. Well, actually, I was thinking of telling you guys a story, and I am fresh out. I'm fresh out of stories. Actually, I could tell you a story of when I tried crossing the Amazon. I tried crossing the Amazon on a canoe. Basically, this thing was about 3 or 4, maybe like 3 or 4, 3.5, 4 meters, maybe smaller. Just a basic wooden canoe. And so I started out here in front of my port. And I will say that I was probably under the influence of some jungle moonshine. I must have drank a couple of bottles of the jungle rum that night. The previous night. So like the first thing in the morning, I was still on the old electricity. I was still going on the old charge, and I think I took a little sip. I took a few sips, maybe like half a small water bottle of moonshine, and yeah, I got up on the canoe and I started pedaling. And where I started here, going with the current, I knew I was, the current was gonna carry me, a little bit, by the time I got to the other side, and I brought a fishing pole with me. And so I started out right here in front of my port. And by the time I was on the other side, it wasn't that bad. I was probably about 300, 400, 500 yards maybe, further than I had started on this side. So the current did carry me a little bit. But at the same rate, my strength was quite fresh, so basically I ended up on the other side, about 500 yards. And so I was fishing for a good part of the morning, because I left at about, 8:30, 9. And so yeah, I was fishing till about 11, 12, and then I got hungry. I didn't catch any fish apart from a couple of little tiny sardines. So I got hungry. So I figured, all right, I'm gonna start pedaling back. But of course, I was pretty tired. I was beat down by the sun, and I started to experience a small hangover. Well, in any case, when I started paddling back, either the river got rougher, or I got tired, or perhaps the nerves in me, man, because for some reason, when I got to about the middle of the river, and I already noticed, man, it was carrying me like a lot faster than when I started early in the morning. So possibly the river got a little rougher in the midday. And so I started getting a little nervous, and this thing was taking me. And when I got in the middle, it almost looked like the river was flowing two ways, like one side was flowing down, the other side was flowing up, and it was almost as if I was caught in like a sluice hole. And I started taking in a little water, not too much, but it could have been dangerous. And And so I was sort of like emptying the canoe out. I was paddling with one hand, and what was killing me too is that I had this super huge, heavy wooded paddle, you know, and I think it was just a combination of everything. I think the river got rougher. I think I was a little tired, and maybe my nerves too were kicking in. And after a while, man, and I was a good, I don't know, I was a good 2-3 miles down where I started from, man. And some guy saw me. Some guy was crossing the street, crossing the river, with a little, maybe a 5-6 meter boat with a little peka engine on the back. And he saw me, and he swam up to me, threw me a rope, and then just pulled me off to the shore, onto the other side. And so I was like, oh man, you know, I thanked him, whatever. I think I had some change in my pocket. I gave him some money. I gave him the two small fish that I caught. And so then I'm like, man, I'm like 3-4 miles down, maybe downriver, from where my port is. So I was like, wow. So this is like, I don't know, this is maybe like 1:30, 2 o'clock. So this is right in the middle of the hardest beating sun, as hard as it beats throughout the Amazon day. That is the hardest. It beats. So I was sort of like paddling, and of course, you know, I was sort of like paddling 2-3 meters away from the shore, but I was going against the current, you know. And so, man, it took me like maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I was only maybe like halfway back. And no phone, of course. I had no phone. And basically, like, cause basically every like 20-30 minutes, I paused a little bit to take a break. So I parked on the shore to take a break. No water. I had no water. I did find a tree that these trees that collect water, and they filter it down from the canopy down to the bottom. So some of the branches you can cut off and actually drink right from the middle of the branch. So yeah, I did find a few drops here and there, but I didn't want to waste too much time walking around the woods, and I had no machete. So basically, then I just sort of like kept paddling, and at one point, I took a nap, and as I was waking up from my nap, it was maybe like a 15-20 minute nap, because I found a big sort of canopy tree that was hanging over the river, and I heard a motor, and it kind of startled me and woke me up, and so I woke up, and it was actually my neighbor, one of my neighbors from my village. He was coming back from, I don't know, from visiting some friends or something downriver. He was probably like 5-6 miles downriver, where his friends were. And so he was coming back. He saw me. He's like, "Harry, hi, what's going on?" And I was like, yes, I am saved. So I hopped on his boat, tied my little canoe up to his, and I finally made it back home. But that was some crazy. So basically, the moral of the story, guys, is do not ever try to cross the Amazon River where it's, you know, I mean, the Amazon River is massive, right? Like here, I think it's probably about a good 1.5 kilometers. So it's about a mile wide, maybe even wider. Like right now at the highest point, it's probably maybe 1.5 miles wide. So yeah, do not ever try to cross the Amazon, when it's 1.5 miles wide with a 3-4 meter canoe, with a big paddle that's way too heavy, and also you're tired, drunk, hungover, and the rest of it. So that's the moral of the story, guys. Thank you for listening. I'll catch you guys in the next episode, and I'm gonna cut this vlog out with a little bit of the old Jungle Symphony. All right, guys. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes of the Jungle Symphony. Watch the fire as I swing. All right, hasta la ciao, ciao, guys. Bye-bye.